Note, this video begins with me ranting about my own personal thoughts on the gender of our main character. Many of you might not have any interest in hearing this, and if it is, that's fine. Not everyone likes to really deal with that, nor feels a need to deal with that in a show that is all in all meant to be nonsense. So if you would like to skip to my actual thoughts on simply what is just a picture and a piece of concept art of a series that is still 2 or 3, 4 months away, skip to the following timestamp. And that'll be that. And without further ado, 3, 2, 1. So, this morning, as I was getting ready for work, I was revealed something I was not expecting for another month or so. We got our first look at what is to be the 6th Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. That's right, the 6th. Suck it, all you other anime franchises that failed. The new Yu-Gi-Oh!, which we don't get a title of, weirdly enough. It's going to be a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Starring a new main character, and many people, myself included, were speculating we were going to get our first female protagonist between a sudden rise in female players doing good at tournaments, and also the high use of female characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, predominantly in the form of Yugioh, who is basically the main character. And we found out it's going to be another one with things dangling between his legs. The picture is now in front of you. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed it wasn't a girl. Okay, look, before we get into this, I am a middle-class, chubby white man in his early 20s living in the suburbs. I am not someone who considers himself high knowledge on things like representation of women or race or anything like that at all. That being said, I am incredibly disappointed that Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't take that chance. Here's the thing. In anime, there are a lot of strong, fascinating female characters, but a lot of them, I feel, are very much stuck to their own genres. Namely, the magical girl genre, and you have some integration with, like, maybe cop animes, like, say, Ghost in the Shell, and yeah, that's about it, because pretty much every other strong female anime character feels like they just get fan service too much, or just need to be up to like a man's standards, if you know what I'm saying. For example, this is Izetta. In this year's biggest disappointment, Izetta the Last Witch. What's the main thing I can tell you about her? She's nice and she has big boobs. That's about it. What about other strong female anime characters? Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill. I really enjoy this character. What's the main thing I remembers for her? She's in a frickin' stripper outfit the whole time. Let's look at shonens for a minute, which Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically is. Fairy Tail, Lucy and Urza, fascinating, well-written characters. What's the most people remember them? Huge-ass titties. Bleach, Orihime, huge-ass titties. Hinata, Naruto, huge-ass titties. One Piece, Nami, huge-ass titties. Are you starting to notice a trend here? All these characters are well-written and have great moments in their series, but what is the biggest thing with them? Fan service. There's literally a whole genre dedicated to this. And I'm just thinking to myself, something make the change. Something prevail. And you want to know who should do that? Yu-Gi-Oh! You literally just had a series where the female character almost stole the entire show. You have Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds where a lot of people's favorite character was the girl. Like, the thing is, why not make that change? Why not be the show that makes that first step and puts women in a more forefront role in a male-type genre? Now, this summer, we had Ghostbusters, and that went over negatively because it had women. But, let's not forget, you had a horrible marketing campaign, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Could do what that failed because, A, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be stupid enough to just throw women in there for the sake of throwing women in there, and also, Yu-Gi-Oh's in a good spot. Sales are up this year, despite what Asian eyes want you to think. We just had the biggest YCS in European history, biggest US Nationals in European history, in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. The anime does super good in the ratings, apparently. It's a big show there. Take the risk. Look at Star Wars. Star Wars is huge. That's why you can have Jyn Orso and Rey and any other female character play a huge role, because they're okay with taking the risk and trying to do something. I want Yu-Gi-Oh! To take that risk. Of these shonens that can kind of appeal to children, I mean like the ones that try and sell product, Let's look at them for a minute. Beyblade Burst is an excellent, well-written anime. No female characters. Cardfight Vanguard, the first one, had a great character with Masaki. She was done after season 1. And in this current one, you have Tokoha, who is just there to be there. Which sucks, because she's the only thing I can tolerate in that show. The new one, Digimon Universe, its female character is the best one, but when I looked at, she's like always got her midriff exposed, and when she was in it, and when they did a swimming episode, she was the first thing they showed was her in a bikini. I don't have that much faith, and Digimon Universe is just okay at best. I thought Yugioh could really do something. Like, it's a show that always takes chances with dark storylines and creepy plots and stuff. You could do something really interesting, Yugioh. I don't know why you just chose to do the most generic thing ever, and that's another guy, and another guy in high school with stupid hair. So basically, I want to take chances. Maybe they'll do something different. Maybe the rival will be a female. That could be interesting. Most people's favorite character in Yu-Gi-Oh's are the rivals, so you could really do something there. Maybe the best friend will be a girl, maybe the main antagonist, but as of right now, like, I'm disappointed. But that's that. As for the picture itself, yeah. Another thing I was hoping for with this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Is since Arc 5 deals with time and dimension travel, I thought you could sort of use this as a soft reboot to the universe, maybe try something different, and based on this picture, that's not what they're doing. I wanted a new animation style, like what they've done with Pokemon. Pokemon Sun and Moon, the anime, I think looks really good, and I'm really enjoying that. Just because it's a different animation and it allows for different facial movement. This looks exactly the same. Ask yourselves, how cool would it be if every Yu-Gi-Oh! They passed the baton on to another studio? Like a Yu-Gi-Oh! That looked like a Trigger production, like a Kill La Kill or a Keys Naiver, or something that had the imagination of a JC Staff production like Food Wars. Hell, I'd even take something that's all bright and cute like a Kyoto Annie show. But the thing is that I want a change. I want something different. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is such a broad concept. You can do a lot with it. Do it! Like, just do it! Like, that's kind of my thing there. And even at that, I think this might be the worst looking one. Like, look at him. This design is so distracting. And I'm talking about the hair, like, 3-4 different shades of color in there. The dark blue, and then the weird Yuma Skumo type thing in the front, and then the weird random pink. Like, Yuma, you used to be the worst looking one. This is now the crappiest looking one. Like, what is this? Somehow it's getting worse. At least with Yuya, yeah, red and green looked like Christmas jizz. But the thing is that at least it was sort of a complementary color palette. This guy is just all over the place. Plus, with the green eyes, it just doesn't work. And the generic-looking school uniform. As for the rest of it, the concept art we got of what will be, I guess, sort of VR duels or duels on hoverboards, that very much feels to me like VR is now a thing, so they're going to try and put VR in Yu-Gi-Oh! That could be really cool. The concept art looks neat. Obviously, that's not what it's going to look like. Or maybe it is, and that could be really cool. We'll have to wait and see. Again, we'll have to see what our new summoning mechanic is, if there even is one. But as for the premise, this is where I get really interested and really fascinated and really excited. This one is going to have a motto. This one will have, frick, I'm having trouble finding the page. This show's motto is, let's take one step forward and try it. This is interesting because, A, they never really had a model unless you count Katabing. But the thing is that this is kind of inspirational. This is kind of, let's do something new, and it kind of complements this little blurb we get of him that he hates standing out and he doesn't like to. He seems very introverted, and he meets other people through duels and start moving forward. That feels very realistic to me. Like, in the same way Yuma felt very realistic, this feels like it could really happen. Like, this kid, he is an introvert, and he is someone who really needs to break out of his shell, and it sounds like dueling is going to do that for him. That was me! That was most people I hang out with! That feels very real to me. And the fact that they're going that route, now a cynical person would be like, oh, it's just brand promotion. No, this is something that happens in the real world with Yu-Gi-Oh! And they always try to avoid it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was supposed to be sort of there's confidence issues and stuff. It never really went anywhere because they had to rush into the plot. Same with Yugi, and the other three all had like friends and stuff, so they were just kind of normal. This kid, they're flat out putting it on Front Street. He doesn't seem social. He doesn't want to get recognized. Well, then why do you have hair like that? But even the face, like, he doesn't look happy. This is the first one since Yusei who's being promoted with a serious look on his face. Yuma and Yugioh were both happy-go-lucky looking at first just to sort of hide the show's intentions. They're putting it on Front Street. This is more dramatic. And that's kind of interesting to me. And I kind of can't wait for that. Like, that fascinates me, where the animation and the character design and gender kind of fail me. The show's premise is what's fascinating. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most, is the premise. And what it goes, and what it does with it. And I trust Yu-Gi-Oh! With that, because they always deliver on a fun, fascinating, entertaining show. So, even with what I think is the failings so far of what is one picture, two pictures, I'm fascinated to see where things are going, and I can't wait. But in the comments section below, give me your comments on this new protagonist, what you think the new duel style is, what you'd like to see go into it, and if you're excited too. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe because, well, we got some more stuff to talk about.